Hello and welcome to the BamCam podcast with your hosts, Alison Castellano and Adrian Castellano. I am Wendy McConnell. Welcome back to the both of you. Congratulations. Tell us the news.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we welcomed a little boy into our family on March 21st. So just, 7 weeks ago.
Wow.
And we're still trying to figure things out. It's been a hard adjustment learning how to be a family of four.
We don't know if it's day or night right now. We don't know what day of the week it is because we are not sleeping.
Well, it's daytime. I will help you out there.
Okay. That's good to know.
So you have a boy now, you have a girl now. Are you done?
Yes.
We're done. We have the best of both worlds.
There you go.
And honestly, as I get closer to 40, I don't think I could do it again.
We're at peace with the way things have turned out. We have a boy, we have a girl, and we have a dog.
All right. There you go. All right. So what are we going to be talking about here?
Today, we're going to start talking about something that's a really exciting time for someone.
Yeah.
That moment when you get a raise or maybe even a bonus. Something that's worth celebrating a little and can definitely lead to some big opportunities. Either way, that bump in your paycheck is something that feels really, really good.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? It's something that I did not get a lot of in my previous career.
Neither did I.
So I don't have a lot of personal practice with this. But you've worked hard and now you're finally being rewarded for your hard work. But that's where the trap is. The trap is to not get too off track with your financial goals. Once this, hits your pocket. You want to think about how you want to spend that extra money and how you want to actually have it show up in your life in the future.
Yeah. So too often a raise or that bonus often just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
It gets absorbed into daily spending. Maybe you're going to get a few extra Starbucks, or in our case, it would be loaded teas. And a few months later, you're wondering why nothing feels different.
Yeah.
So
it ends it ends up being, like you said, a trap. And it's just one of those where you see it disappear without it having a meaningful impact on building your financial future. So step one, when you have that raise, you want to hit pause, right? Don't instantly go and spend that money without thinking about what works best for you. It's very easy to impulsively go and buy that, new pair of shoes or that necklace or whatever it is that you might want to buy.
That new luxury bag. That's one that a lot of women get caught up with.
Don't just go and buy the brand new fancy car or commit to a bigger mortgage, especially if it's not within your means. Just hit pause.
Yeah. So we're not saying it's not okay to celebrate.
Yeah, of course.
It's certainly okay to celebrate. Go out to dinner, give yourself a little high five, a pat on the back, but then stop and give it some thought. Ask yourself, what's the best use of this money? Because a raise is more than just extra cash. It really can be momentum to something even bigger in your life.
Yeah. Well, think about it. It's like a door just opened and you have opportunity, but it's up to you to make sure you make the most of that opportunity. So rather than spending 100% of that raise on that handbag or that pair of shoes, walk through that door with purpose, with a plan. Figure out what's going to work best for you and your unique situation or your family's situation.
Yeah. So, step one, we said hit pause. Step two is to check in with your budget. This is a great time to revisit your budget, figure out what's working, what's not working. Are you spending in line with your values, or have things drifted a little?
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's a big raise or just a small one. It still matters to take that step. And going back to my previous career in television, those raises, if you did get them, they were rather small.
It might be something like $200 extra a month.
$200 a year.
But, every little bit matters.
Yeah.
So you want to spend with intention for sure. You don't have to overhaul your entire lifestyle. Small shifts can create a big progress if they're consistent.
Yeah, it adds up. So even if it's $200 more a month, 200 times 12, that's $2,400 in a year. And maybe that's $2,400 more a year that you can contribute to your retirement plan. Give it that kickstart, especially if you're earlier on in your working years. You give time's your friend.
Exactly.
Right? And so you give time its power and it will just grow over time.
So if you're not sure where to start, we have kind of a framework in mind for you.
Yeah. Let's throw some percentages out there.
Okay.
We like percentages here in our line of business. We'll do the 50-30-20 model. So 50%, use that to fund future you. Like I've mentioned, that might be increasing your retirement contributions or putting more into savings. And if you haven't already, make sure you're getting that full contribution in your 401k from your employer if you're not already doing that. And so if you get that raise, that is a great opportunity to make sure you're getting that full match. Okay, 30%. 30% to improve your right now, your lifestyle today. Maybe it's buying healthier groceries because, we know
organic costs more.
It's hard. It's hard to eat well. And we're actually kind of going through that right now as a side note with some of the special dietary restrictions that are in place because of our little baby boy.
Yeah. Our breastfeeding journey took a turn and now I'm having to make some adjustments, but they're kind of more expensive adjustments going dairy free and soy free and but it's worth it.
I mean, it's almost every item at the store that you buy that's like that. It's an extra $1, $2, $3.
Yeah.
And so it adds up very quickly when grocery prices are already very high. Maybe it's better or a different childcare option, something that adds real value. And maybe it is turning to full-time childcare so that you have more of an opportunity to focus on you, your work, and your family life plan as you go forward. That adds value.
Yeah.
Okay, the 20%, the remaining 20% would be for fun, right? The trip, maybe a concert, the new jacket. We don't want to say don't do anything fun with your new raise. That's obviously boring. But just be mindful of how you're spending it. So again, it doesn't all disappear and you're looking back on it saying, boy, I wish I would have done something a little different.
Yeah,
do something that brings you joy.
Yeah, the key is to assign your raise a job.
Yeah.
Don't let it sit around doing nothing or worse, accidentally fueling lifestyle creep. So that's always a big concern when you get a raise. Yeah. So step number 3, match it to your goals. Match your raise to your goals. So tie your raise into your bigger life goals. What are you working towards?
Yeah, think about what has been going on or what's been worrying you in your recent past. Maybe it's paying off your student loans a little faster. Maybe it's paying down a credit card that's been kind of just sitting there.
Maybe it's saving for a down payment.
Exactly. Building up your emergency fund. That way, you have that money there in case the washer breaks. That's
happened to us before.
I'm going through the list of things that have happened to us. Your air conditioner breaks. Your car breaks down. What else has happened to us?
We had a flood.
New roof. Yeah, flood. New roof. Water heater. Water tank flooded our house. Had a lot going on.
Infertility treatments.
Yeah,
we've really kind of run the gamut on this, but definitely, make your raise match your goals, whatever you're working towards.
Hey, if it helps you sleep better at night,
it's worth
that peace of mind.
Yeah. Like I was saying, maybe you had a baby, you're thinking about changing jobs, starting your own business. A raise is a great time to take a step back and make sure your money reflects where you're headed, not just where you've been.
Yeah. So when you sit back and you think about it, you pre-plan and you're clear on your goals, it's a lot easier to decide what your raise should help you do rather than spending, again, 100% of it on that fancy handbag. I keep going to that one. I don't know why.
It's, I'm not a handbag person, but I know a lot of ladies out there are.
I'm so thankful that you are not, because that's one of those things that just drives me crazy.
I also don't know where I'd store them in our house. So that's also part of it.
Don't have room.
Yeah. You just don't want your money to float away on something that doesn't really add value to your life. Yeah. So step number 4, make it automatic. Once you've got a plan, make it easy on yourself, automate it.
Yeah. So if you decided perhaps to put part of your raise into savings, set up maybe a monthly auto transfer with your bank account so that as soon as that paycheck hits, it goes and you don't have to.
You don't see it sitting in your checking account ready to spend.
You don't have that urge or that desire, that impulse to just spend it all away. If you're upping your retirement contribution, go ahead and update your 401k or IRA settings to make sure that it reflects how you want to spend that money. Or not spend it, but save the money.
But save it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your money is moving without you having to think about it too, you're way more likely to stay on track.
Exactly. So then that leads us to a little trick. Act like almost you didn't get the raise, right? So if your take-home pay stays the same, that extra money, that raise, quietly goes to work in the background. So after you've bought that 20% of what brings you joy in life, it goes to work in the background. You don't miss it, but your future self will definitely thank you.
Sure. It kind of reminds me when I was growing up, my parents used to tell us all the time how they always made sure to pay themselves first.
Yeah.
As their careers progressed, they saved more for their retirement. They paid themselves first before doing something big for the family or getting a new car, whatever it was. They paid themselves first. And that's always something that I've kind of remembered about, I think they always talk, when they said that, they were talking about their future selves.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I just remember from my childhood.
Well, Boyd and Laura are two children. They don't realize it yet, but they are going to be hearing this a lot as they grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Not between just us, but also their grandfather, Jack.
Yes.
All right. So step 5, we talked about this. Treat yourself, but just don't treat yourself too much. Sure, you deserve it, right?
Yeah.
But it's just important to help set you up in the future for success. Let's be honest. You should enjoy part of your raise.
You earned it.
Yeah, you earned it. It would be
a disservice.
And you'd be less likely, perhaps, to work hard in the future and perhaps get those higher raises if you didn't at least treat yourself a little bit.
Yeah. So take the trip, go out to some nicer dinners, buy something fun.
Yeah.
But do it with intention. We talked a lot about handbags here. So,
yeah.
If handbags are important to you, buy the handbag.
Yeah.
But make sure you buy the handbag that is going to bring you the most joy and value. Do it with intention.
Don't just buy it because it has a certain name on it.
Yes.
Or a couple letters. So we're not saying you have to live the most boring, uneventful life in the world. That's not what we're trying to say. And it could come across that way. I understand that. What we're trying to say is balance is key. The goal is to enjoy a little now, but really, really feel good about what you've set up for the future. So that when you look back on things 6 months, a year, 5, 10, 20 years into retirement, you're thankful about the decisions you made today.
Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about living within your means, and this is the perfect opportunity to make sure that you're living within your means if you have maybe been outliving your means.
Yeah.
But, you want to spend in a way that aligns with your values, whether your values are freedom, security, generosity, or something else entirely. This is the opportunity to make sure that you are living within your means and spending in line with what matters most to you.
Okay, so we threw 5 steps out there for you after you get the raise, right?
Or the bonus.
Mm-hmm. So again, to kind of recap those, step 1 is to hit that pause button. Don't just impulsively go and spend 100% of your raise on something just because you can. Sit back, think about how future you would really appreciate it if you let that money work over the years to better your life, to better your family's life 10, 20, 30 years down the line. Step 2 is to revisit your budget, have a clear understanding on your finances, to understand exactly what your needs are and how this money could help you achieve those goals that you have. And speaking of goals, align that money with your goals. That's step 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Step 4, automate some of those decisions so that you don't have that urge to spend the money where it doesn't necessarily need to be spent. If you automate it, it's kind of out of sight,
out of mind,
right? And 5, this is, I think, one of the most important ones. Don't forget to treat yourself. Some people want to spend 100% of that money. Others might want to save 100% of the money.
Yeah.
And that also isn't necessarily the best option, because if you're not treating yourself, if you're not enjoying life today,
what's the purpose?
Yeah. What's the point? Mm-hmm. So treat yourself. Don't lose, though, sight of the overall bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a raise or a bonus, it's more than just a little bump in your income. It's a chance to shift gears, build something strong, and make progress on the things that matter most to you.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not sure what the next step should look like, reach out. This is exactly the kind of conversation that we love to have with our clients or prospective clients as well. It's something we can sit down and help you kind of map out your future so that it fits exactly what your goals are and what your family's goals are. And we can help you achieve those, because let's face it, it can be complicated. That roadmap of life as you head toward retirement and through retirement.
Yeah. And our goals are shifting all the time. You know, we've certainly had those shifts in our relationship as we've navigated family planning and being homeowners. We've had lots of shifts. So
we want to help people connect their money to their real life.
Exactly. So you can reach out to us. Our website is eaterfinancialwellness.com. I'm Allison at eaterfw.com.
And I'm Adrian at eaterfw.com. Easy to remember.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. And thank you for listening today. Please like, follow, and share this podcast with your friends. Until next time, I'm Wendy McConnell.
Thank you for listening to the BamCam podcast with Jack Burnett and Alison Castellano from Eater Financial Wellness, a financial advisory practice at RFG Advisory. To get in touch with us, visit today's show notes or go to our website at www.eaterfinancialwellness.com. That's ITER financialwellness.com. And please click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Information here may be provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither our guests nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of our guest. They do not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, its employees, or its clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by RFG Advisory or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives of Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, LLC, RFG Advisory or RFG, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place. RFG Advisory is an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of RFG by the Commission, nor does it indicate that RFG or any associated investment advisory representative has attained a particular level of skill or ability.